Good day. This is a training video for our iVO Orbimax and Excentr range of orbital floor deep cleaning machines. These machines replace the old style rotary buffer machines which normally require quite a bit of practice to be able to use, and they also don't get into the edges and the corners, whereas these machines use square pads and they use an orbital action. They're very simple to use, and they also get right up to the edges and the corners because of these square pads. These machines use high-speed orbital action. The Excentr range is 2,800 RPM and the orbital Orbimax is 3,300. The two Excentr machines also use weight, and so you have combined speed and weight, a much faster cleaning action. The machines I have here are all cordless, powered by lithium-ion batteries. The whole range also comes in corded version. I've got the battery version here to show you today because they're a little more involved in charging the batteries, whereas the corded version you simply plug in and use the machine. You just have to be aware of the cable is kept out of the way and you don't run over it.
The battery is located on the back of the Excentr 40 machine and on the front of the 30 machine. There are two keys supplied to remove the battery. Make sure you store one in a safe place. The battery can be charged in situ on the machine, but if you need to remove to charge, you can do so by using the key to unlock. Remove the top part of the battery towards the right of the machine first before removing the whole battery. To replace, insert the bottom of the battery into the holder first and then move the top across to the left, securing it into place. Then use the key to secure the battery to the holder. To charge the battery, plug in the mains on the charger and turn on. The green light should be showing on the charger to show that there is power to it. Take the battery and remove the rubber bung that is in the charging port at the bottom of the battery. Insert the charger plug firmly into the charging port on the battery. When the battery is charging, there will be a red light. When it is fully charged, it will be green, and the charger, which is intelligent, will shut down into standby mode. On the top of the battery, there is a button you can press which will give you an indication of the battery's charge status. Blue indicates a fully charged battery, green medium, red is low, and flashing red means you should charge the battery immediately. It is important to note that if the machine stops whilst using a battery and the light on top is red or flashing, you must charge immediately before continuing to use. Always charge the battery once you have used the machine. Never store an empty battery. If you are storing a battery for a length of time without using it, you must make sure you charge it at least once every 4 months. The on and off button for the Excentr 30 and 55 can be found underneath the right handle and on the top for the 40 machine. The lever for applying water is located under the left handle. On top of the machine's solution tank, there is a hose fitted for filling the tank at a tap. You may need to lower the handle so that the water will flow from the tap into the tank. The tank has a 4-litre capacity, but it is best not to fill the tank more than is needed for the job at hand. To move the handle, there is a foot bar at the base of the handle. Press heavily with your foot on the bar and move to desired location. The catch will lock into position. Use a position that is comfortable for you. The top position is for transporting the machine. There are a number of ways to remove and replace the pad. If you start off by putting the handle in the up position, you can then put the machine on its back here. So if you grip firmly here, and then you can remove your pad easily. Okay, put your machine back. You then need to get the pad that you want to put onto the machine, and then you can do exactly the same. So just balance the machine, handles down reasonably low so the machine is balanced and it's easy to hold, and then you can just realign the new pad onto the machine. Kind of pat it on there, make sure it's nice and symmetrical, and you're good to go. Another way, once you've taken the pad off, you can have the pad on the floor. Then if you just put the handles down, you can lift the machine up, align the pad nice and straight. So you look along the back there, look along the back of the machine, along the pad, and make sure the edges are nicely aligned. If the pad's not aligned well with the base plate, it can cause an offset vibration, which isn't so good. So again, just turn it on briefly just to set the pad on. So another way we can change the pad, put the handle in the up position here, and then if we just remove the battery, we can lay the machine all the way onto its back. The 30 machine, the battery is on the front, so no need to remove. Likewise, the 55 machine only comes as a cable version. So make sure there's no water in the tank, and the machine will go all the way onto the back there. You can then remove the pad. Also, you may want to do that occasionally to check and make sure that you haven't got a lot of old pad stuck onto the base plate there. If so, you just need to pull it off wherever it is. Sometimes a wire brush is needed to just brush it and take all the old pad that kind of over time gets stuck onto the base plate. So keep that nice and clean. One of the most important points to note about the base plate on the machine is that you do not allow pads to wear thin, causing the base plate to rub against the floor, potentially damaging the floor and the base plate. Pads that have worn thin should always be removed and reapplied underneath a new pad. Some pads, such as the thin fast strip pad, should always be used underneath another pad. This also helps to absorb any undulations in the floor surface. There are some pads, such as the Superfoam pads which have a backing on them which allows you to completely consume the foam pad before needing to replace.
So we can then just reapply the pad, making sure it's nice and symmetrical, pat it on there.
If the pad you are using has holes in it, it needs to be aligned to the front of the machine, like so.
And then obviously you can lift your machine back up. Put the battery back again and make sure it's locked into place. When you use an Excentr machine, you need to adjust the handle to the desired position, and you move the machine forwards and backwards, and then you can move across by simply just moving the wheels across. So you don't swing the machine with the old style buffer motion, but you move the machine leaving the wheels on the floor. You can use the machine forwards and backwards, and then you can just move the machine across, forwards and backwards.
So with the wheels on the floor, you can move the machine forwards easily, and slightly more pressure needs to be applied when pulling the machine backwards, but either way it's very easy.
Now you can lift the wheels, but you should not put pressure downwards, okay? So no pressure downwards, otherwise you're taking the pressure off the head, and it will potentially, the pad can vibrate off. So you just need to make sure that you're not putting pressure downwards, but you can lift. You can lift them handles, and that would be when you are running along an edge. So if we just turn that on there, just lift the handles up a little bit, and we can just run along an edge.
You can also gently guide the machine into a corner and away again.
It's always good to work as though you are mowing the lawn and you're not just going here and there, but to be concise about it. So you work your way across and you cover the area and you know where you've been. If you have some stairs you need to go up and you need to reduce the weight, you can remove the battery, but you can also remove these two weights here just by simply undoing these. And the weights will remove. Obviously replace them when you're finished, and make sure that they're screwed down nice and tightly. When adjusting the handle, don't use this side, as you're liable to put pressure on here and pull this off. So always use the right hand side to adjust your handle.
Here is the Orbimax 30 being used with a pre-dampened superfoam pad, working across the floor in a methodical way. Simply apply enough water using the trigger to keep the floor damp but not flooded. It is best to clean larger floor areas in sections, allowing enough time to remove the dirty water from the floor before it dries back. As you can see here, you can slightly lift the wheels from the floor, using the machine sideways to completely clean to the edge. Once you have deep cleaned the floor to the desired result, you then need to use an absorbent mop to thoroughly remove all soiling. If possible, a wet vac may be a better option, as it will more thoroughly remove the dirty water, especially on rough or textured flooring.
Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have learned how to use the machines and look after them, and you will enjoy using them.